We've been taught by the great philosophers that man is able to think and feel for themselves. Why should a distant king and a distant land have anything to do with our local communities? I truly believe that our cause is not one born out of a desire for rebellion, but out of a desire for representation.
As a man taller than a musket with fingers and teeth, I have my obligations to the defense of my town. But now it seems that there's a need to extend that pattern of defense beyond the municipal borders of my town to answer alarms throughout the province and to defend against whatever form tyranny comes.
I can understand and identify with a lot of the things that are being proffered as goals that we're trying to gain with our independence from the mother country. But what are we gaining or fighting for, or knowing what's going to happen? At least with the king and parliament, we know what we're dealing with and what we have. I identify with the ideals, and yes, we do need to have more voice in our government, but we don't know where this is going to lead and what will be the outcome.
We know well that no nation can live by parchment alone. Liberty must be in the hearts of the people. And thus, if the generations after me and my children and their children want to preserve what we have fought for, they must guard against those ideas that have destroyed all republics. The ideas of apathy, of corruption, of those who are selfish and gaining power. I truly had hoped, as a loyal citizen to the crown, that the king would have answered our pleas. But he did not. And thus, the only answer we would have is to overthrow such a king.
I always enjoy local people who are appreciative of what I'm doing in their neighborhoods, talking about the history and the past and all these kinds of things. People say, it's like, oh yeah, I've driven by here all the time, it's like it's battles in the American Revolution, and I was like, yes, of course. And I've known this since I was 10, and now I've arguably organized at least the free time in my life around it. Without the public, we're just weirdos camping. I would be doing this anyway.
We're a species that want to remember things. And why, right? Why are we as a society so inclined to do that? I think it's human nature. I think it's human nature to try to remember the past, both good and bad, because, it's the legacy of us. It's the legacy of humanity, I guess. So I think it's important to play a role in that, no matter how small it is. The thing about the brigade that I've always thought is so fascinating is there's the legacy of the 18th century we're trying to preserve, but it's also the legacy of the people who founded the brigade that I'm trying to preserve.
I wasn't in touch with the 18th century until my mid-20s and 30s, but I definitely, and some people may think this is funny, I don't want to, if you believe in reincarnation or not, but too much of the 18th century came way too easily for me. I think it's a love of history. The odd kids who loved history that finally found one another in our 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s. I used to joke all the time that we're a 12-year-old again playing war. So it's a camaraderie that was part of being a family.
You have to learn history so that you know where we as a society or we as a nation or what have you came from, and then try to then use that to then extrapolate where we ought to go. Because if you don't know history, it's not necessarily that you're going to be doomed to repeat it again. It's just that you may run the risk of undoing the hard-won gains of previous struggles.
The Brigade of the American Revolution was actually founded back in 1962 with the understanding to recreate the life and times of an American revolutionary soldier. There's a mutual understanding about why you're here. It's definitely this idea of this connection to the people that lived back then. The reason we like history is it's because it's the story of us.
Thank you very much, everybody, for coming out today. Look forward to doing some good service on the field this afternoon.
Please note who is next to you. Take a look. Introduce yourselves real quick so you know who might be missing later.
We know each other.
Yeah.
Andy. Darian.
Justin. I'm at all these things.
We have about 1,800 members, which is great because we've grown past our COVID losses. At our height of the organization, probably in the early 2000s, the 225th, I think it was about 2,800 members.